What's going on, everybody? I'm coming to you live from Washington, D.C., from the Airbnb that I'm staying in, which is really cool. Um, it's kind of got this like groovy sort of, I don't know if it's 70s, it might actually be more 50s, maybe a little bit 60s, but it's cool. And I'm really digging it. And I'm in DC for a couple of days. And so I wanted to go live with you guys because there's a number of things I want to talk to you about. And throw some comments in the chat, by the way, if you're joining. I'll be keeping my eye over here. I want to hear from all of you guys. But I titled this video "Feeling Powerful," and I want to kind of tell you guys why. And because that's sort of how I'm feeling well, it's how I'm feeling today, and I want to sort of explain why and why I called it that. So, without getting into too much, I'll say that I've been feeling down, for many weeks, honestly, and for a number of different reasons, which we'll get into another time, another day. But it's as much as I feel like the Trump getting elected and everything should be this like joyous celebration, and I do feel that way. In a lot of ways, the last several weeks and maybe even more than just a few weeks have in some ways been almost like the hardest since January 6th and I was arrested and everything, just because again, we'll get into it another time, another day, but I mean, long story short, I would say maybe part of it is like getting closer to the end has made me realize, just begin to kind of grasp how damaging and devastating everything has been, and how costly, and honestly too, I think to a certain degree how much it wore me out. It was very, very exhausting to go through, and I don't think anyone could ever possibly imagine, because there's many things obviously I've told you guys, but so many things I haven't. And I mean, even just like the day to day, constantly getting banned and canceled and going through all that. And again, we'll get into all of that another time. But anyway, I've been feeling really down, and that's the truth. And I don't know, when I was in that state of feeling really down, I started looking toward, what's coming in 25, what's coming in 26, the whole future of everything. And, you know, I think kind of questioning myself to a certain degree, and questioning my own self-confidence to a certain degree, because I've always been very, very confident and very, I kind of just created Walkaway and started everything with this attitude of there's nothing I can't do, there's nowhere I can't go, there's nothing that can't get accomplished. We'll find a way, and we'll get it done in 97% of the time. That's exactly what I did, or my team and I did. We found a way, we got things done. We went places we never, I think most people never dreamed. I dreamed, but I think most people didn't dream we could go or do things we could do. But then I kind of got to the point in the last few weeks where I was sort of feeling like, I don't know. I mean, are the best days behind us? Like, like what's ahead? Kind of, not to say that we don't have ideas and plans, but I'm just saying it's more about like the way I felt, right? And so today, I'm in Washington, D.C. It's January 18th, I believe. That would make sense because today is the 10-year anniversary of my sobriety. So that's part of it too. I'm feeling like, wow, okay, as of today, I'm 10 years sober. That's a huge accomplishment. And the fact that I stayed sober in the midst of all of this is staggering, to say the least. Um, but then I went to the Women's March today because for those of you who've been following me for a long time, you probably remember that in years past, I've gone to the Women's March numerous times, like numerous years, and done street interviews, and they're really funny, and it's usually, like some of my very best content. But I hadn't done it in 5 years. The last time I went back was the Women's March 2020, and also, they quit doing it while Biden was in office. So they did the Women's March every year while Trump was in office. Then they stopped during the Biden years, and now they started again that Trump got reelected. So anyway, so I went back for the first time in 5 years. started doing street interviews, and at first I felt like a little bit rusty, and then it started to kind of come back, and I found my groove. And I mean, it quickly, it didn't take long, but like I started to kind of find my groove and what I wanted to do. I think we captured amazing content. So that felt really good. But as we were leaving the Women's March, we were near the Washington Monument. And some of you may recall in 2020, we did this big march, and we called it the Walkaway Unsilent March. And it was a whole weekend. So on a Friday night, we did the Walkaway American Women's Town Hall. And then the next day, Saturday, we did the Walkaway Unsilent March. And then I think we did a brunch. Yeah, we did a brunch, and then we closed out the whole weekend. So that's what it was. And we did it. So it was a march from Freedom Plaza to a place called the Silven Theater, near the Washington Monument. And the Silven Theater is an outdoor theater. It was a really cool space. Remember, this was during COVID too, so it was kind of cool that we had this like outdoor venue that we chose to do it in. So I was with one of my employees, and we were leaving the Women's March, and we were walking by the Washington Monument, and I said, let's walk by the Sylvan Theater again, which again, that's where we ended up doing like the women's event and the Unsilent March. And so we walked past it, and we were just kind of looking at it, and I was just I was feeling like, and I felt this voice inside of my heart, and it said, um, "You can totally do this again. You can absolutely do this again." And it said, "And you're going to do this again. You can do this again, and you're going to do this again." And I just felt it really strongly. And then, like seconds later, my employee that was with me was like, "Are you thinking about doing another event?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am 100%. And we're going to do it. And it's going to be awesome. And we're not just going to do it. We're going to do it, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be great." And like I really felt it. And then right at that moment too, this small group of people were walking by, and this woman saw me, and she was like, "Ah!" And she came running over. Her name was Maria. She was with her husband, I don't remember his name, and she was with her, I think, father-in-law, her mother-in-law, and then I didn't really catch who the other guy was. But it was this family, this beautiful Hispanic family, Trump supporters. They're in town for the inauguration. And she said to me, she was like, "I have been following you for so long," and whatever. And she said, "And I came to your event in 2020." So she was there at our women's event and at our Unsilent March. So we're standing there in the exact spot, Sylvan Theater, where we did that event. And I'm sitting there thinking about like that event and the next thing we're going to do. And then she walks by, and she had come to that event in 2020. And I said to her, I was like, "Well," I was like, "We were just talking about doing another event." I was like, "If we do another event, will you come?" And she was like, "Absolutely." She came from California. So she flew all the way across the country from California to come to my event and to go to the inauguration this weekend. And she was like, "Absolutely. If you do an event, I'm coming back." And I was like, "Okay." And I don't know. I just, we've been walking around DC and seeing a lot of Trump supporters. And obviously, that's not been the case for the last 4 years, the times I've come back and visited DC. And I'm starting to just kind of get that old feeling again. Um, and so I don't know. It just made me feel really powerful. And it made me feel like I think in a certain way, like truly feeling the beginning of breaking free from all of this horrible bullshit that's been going on for the last 4 years. And in addition to that, my probation ends on Thursday. That's if so there's a scenario in which pardons may happen on Monday. Or it's possible pardons could happen between Monday and Thursday or not. I don't know. But so that would be the end, I think, at that moment. But if not, then either way, the end for me will be this Thursday. I'm completely done with J6 this Thursday, finally, after 4 years. And where was I going with this? Oh, that really over this last week, and I think only over the last few days, I've begun to really feel like I'm like, I beat them. I beat them. I won because I'm this close to being finished. It's been almost 4 years to the day that I was raided by the FBI and arrested, and all of this nightmare began. And it has been an unbelievable nightmare for 4 years. I was put in jail. I was criminally charged. I was sued in civil court. I had to go before the January 6th committee. They banned us from everything. We got banned, censored. We got deplatformed. We got annihilated. I mean, it was debanked. It was everything. And but I'm here now, and I'm like, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it hasn't been extremely damaging. It hasn't been extremely devastating in many ways, but I still have my organization. I didn't have to, in 4 years, I did not have to fire or let go of any of my employees. We didn't run out of financial support. We didn't go under. We continued to do events. People continued to support and show up. We have a long way to go and a lot of work to do before we're back on track like before this happened, a long way to go. But they did not succeed in destroying me. And that was the goal. The goal was to make sure that one, my organization was destroyed, that Walkaway was destroyed, to make sure that I was so psychologically and emotionally damaged by all of this that I wouldn't even want to continue working anymore or doing what I do. And that three, that they just completely destroyed the movement and made you guys stop wanting to follow me, stop wanting to trust me, stop wanting to support me, that people would be afraid to contribute financially or volunteer or share my posts or can just continue to support. And they did not succeed. And believe me, they came hard. FBI, DOJ, the DC courts, various actors within the government, big tech, all of them, the media. Oh my God, the media. I mean, this was like a full court press collusion to try to make sure that I could never get up again, that Walkaway could never recover, and that they would dig a hole so deep that we couldn't possibly get out of it. And they didn't succeed. In 4 days, Sunday, Monday, 5 days, in 5 days, I will be finished completely with January 6th, completely. I'm still here. My organization is still here. My followers are still here. My, what did I leave out? Followers, supporters, my employees are still here. And there ain't a chance in hell I'm going to quit. Not a chance in hell. And I knew that today. After we left that women's march and we walked by the Silven Theater, and I stood there and I envisioned in my mind the amazing event that we did in 2020 on that stage with all those thousands of people standing out in front of the Washington Monument, between the Washington Monument and our stage. And I was like, there is no chance in hell that I am finished. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, and we're going to come back bigger and better and stronger than ever before. And I know it now. I know it. And I got to tell you, I'm not sure that I knew it the last few weeks, because I was just starting to feel the weight of everything that happened the last 4 years. And I didn't even want to come to DC. Honestly, I didn't even really want to come on this trip. I'm going to California next week to celebrate the end of my probation with people. And people kept asking, come to DC, come to DC. And I was like, I know it's historic. I know this is a big deal. I know, but I was like, I'm just not in the right headspace. I don't think I should go. I don't think I should be And then honestly, when I saw they were doing the women's march, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do the street interviews. It'll probably, maybe it'll be good for me to kind of like, because like I feel really funny when I'm doing that, and it makes me feel like creative, and it kind of gets my like the comedian side of my brain working, which makes me feel good. And that all happened. I all those things happened today. But God, I felt like my old self for a moment. And that that part of my old self that believed that I could do anything and I could make anything happen and that nothing could stop me. And it felt amazing. And so I am going to spend the next week between now and the end of my probation channeling that feeling again, trying to access it as much as I possibly can and get back to that headspace so that once again becomes my normal and once again becomes my default setting because I don't know, I think there's something about my tenacity and my unwillingness to give up or to say, it can't be done. I I I think the thing I like most about myself is that I never give up, never. And I've always said I didn't get where I am or have the success that I've had with Walkaway because I'm some great geopolitical genius or some political strategist who like not at all. It's because the reason I had the success that I had is one, I had a very good idea that this country desperately needed. And when I put it out there, people responded to it. But two, I never, ever, ever quit. And I can't be bullied into shutting up. I can't be tortured and tormented into backing down. And I think for a second, I might have forgotten that. I think for a minute, I might have forgotten who I was. But today, I remembered who I am. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to spend the next week reflecting and meditating on that to make sure that I don't forget again. Because anything is possible. And these people did not win. Anything. The fact that I'm still here, my team is still here, Walkaway still here, you're still here, all of you out there are still here, proves that anything is possible. Because every force imaginable on the planet tried to destroy what we have, and they failed. Because anything is possible if we don't quit. And I'm not going to quit. And neither are you. So get ready because we are going to build back bigger, stronger, better than ever before. We are not going to quit. We are going to do more amazing walkaway events. And you are going to get your butts on any airplane I ask you to get on. And you're going to travel and you're going to come and you're going to have the time of your life the way that you always have and you always do because we together can do anything, anything. And we're going to do it again. I know it. I'm feeling powerful today. So powerful. And it's because of you guys that I have the strength and the will to keep going. And I just see, oh my God, your comments are like flying over here on the side. Like I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to keep talking, but it's like I think you guys are feeling I think you're feeling it too. So one more week, we're gonna get through the very end of this. And then together, we're going to do the most amazing things we've ever done. And I can't wait. And I am feeling powerful. And I hope you are too. All right. I love you, Patriots. I'm gonna hop off here. I have an interview in a few minutes, but I'll keep in touch with you over the next week. A lot to talk about this week. A lot. But I don't know. I just wanted to take a minute and share what was on my heart with all of you guys because it just felt really good to be back in touch with the old Brandon, my old self. and amazing things are coming. Mark my words. All right, love you, Patriots. Monday's going to be big. Eat your Wheaties because it's going to be a big week. And then we're going to do amazing things together. Good night, Patriots.